Hello everyone, my name is Emma. Thank you for joining me, and today I'm going to be giving you a bunch of facts about myself whilst doing a self-portrait. I'm so glad that you can join me. This isn't my first YouTube video, but I'm really hoping to get a decent audience on here. I'd love to meet you all. So this is a sketch that I'm going to be using today. I sketched this up on paper and I transferred it onto this lovely acid-free cotton paper. It's so nice. And this is a swatch of the watercolours that I'm going to be using. I do swatches all the time, and as a watercolourist, honestly, it's definitely worth it. So let's get painting, and I'll get on to 20 facts about me. Possibly more, we'll have to see. So, 20 facts about me. Fact number 1. I have a daughter who I love very, 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 very much. She's 3 years old. She's an absolute angel. No, you guys won't be seeing her because I don't put her on the internet at all. I'm pretty hot on online safety. But just know that she is my whole world. She is the best. Fact number 2. I'm married to the very best friend in the whole wide world. Now, I've got lots of friends. I'm really lucky. I've got some of the best friends in the whole wide world. Shout out to yous. You know who you are. Thank you for watching. I love you lot. But my very best friend is my husband, as cheeky as it sounds. We met when I was 16 and he was 17. And we were friends. We didn't get together straight away, but we got together when I was 22, and I'm 34 now, so and we've been married for 6. So he's my best friend. We're both sick at the moment. We've both caught colds, and he's taken to his bed, so I'm down here doing my work. Third fact about me. I attended university in Southampton where I studied animation. I absolutely love my university that I attended, and it was an absolute blast. I loved it. I met some unbelievably talented and lovely people, and I'm just grateful that I had the opportunity to meet them and to be around them. Number 4, I've attended several art and animation festivals where I've met some of the coolest people in the animation industry. So when I say that, I really mean cool. You know, I've met people working on projects for DreamWorks. One of my favourite ones to say is that I've met Joanna Quinn. I've met Stephen O for Pixar. Honestly, I'm a bit of a autograph chaser, so I've got their autographs in sketchbooks somewhere. I'll have to do some sketchbook tours and show you, but a lot of these have been buried, they're old, so I'll have to dig them out. Okay, what number are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. I love cooking. I worked in kitchens for a little while too, but I really didn't thrive in the chaos, in the chaotic environment. Though I loved cooking, it was a crazy time. So I ended up working in kitchens where I actually thought I was going to become a chef for a little while. Work was hard to come by, and I was offered a job in a kitchen, as what happens sometimes. And I actually found that I really enjoyed it. But the problem is that I get overwhelmed quite easily at times, especially in something as manic as a kitchen. So I didn't really enjoy that aspect of it, but I love the creative side. I loved making wonderful things. I was good at self-directed organisation. Yeah, I really liked it, but I'm glad I did it, but I won't do it ever again. Okay, and next fact is I love knitting and sewing. I was taught the basics by my grandmother, and I self-taught myself. The rest via YouTube and some of my pre-mentioned amazing friends. So I also worked in a fabric shop for about 4 years as well, because I love textiles and textile art, and I learned how to sew and to knit. And I absolutely love sewing. My first thing was learning how to knit, and I've crocheted some pretty awesome stuff actually. If I'm going to sit and blow my horn, I'm really chuffed with those. I'm professionally an illustrator, so I have to focus my art on actual illustration. But I would love more time to do more sewing and more knitting. Honestly, it's a joy. I absolutely love it. Another fact about me is I love being in nature most of all, and I just enjoy being in the air and in the sunlight. Even though I love cold weather, I like the cold weather where it's really bright and really frosty and really cold. I live for those days. I absolutely live for those days where you see your breath in front of your face and your cheeks sting and your ears go numb. Ooh. But yeah, I love being in nature, and actually I love doing like foraging and identifying plants. It's just really fun. As a result, as well, I'm quite I'm quite the tree hugger. I try and be as eco-friendly, and I'm very, very careful about, I shouldn't say carbon footprint because, you know, but I really try to be as ethical as I possibly can. Oh, I just love identifying plants and animals as well. So especially birds. I'm your typical mid-30s person, and it was like I woke up in my mid-30s and I was like, I really like birds. So I started looking at birds. I've always loved birds. I used to have a parrot. I guess that's another fact. I used to have a parrot. His name was Flanders, and he was a little green-cheeked conure, and I miss him very much. Sadly, he died, but we've still got his ashes, and every now and then I always just go, "Oh yeah, little Flanders," when I look at his urn. I was born in London, and as much as I enjoy the city, because I really do enjoy the city, I just start to crave green space and trees and grass and fields after a little while. I need to be near a tree every now and then. Another fact is I am a part-time life model, and I have been on and off for a decade. Honestly, I've got some stories. I love being a part-time life model. I'm of the belief that life drawing is absolutely essential for anyone who pursues art, who wants to be an artist, who wants to learn how the human body works and moves and is put together. Honestly, it is such a tool for you to use. So good. If you can afford it, go to some life model classes. But there are resources online that are free that you can use for life drawing. Another one to do is essentially pause the television and draw the people. But yeah, I've been a life model since my university days, on and off, and I'm currently doing it part-time. I love it. Another fact is I really struggled to learn to drive. So in the UK, we have to be really, oh my God, the lessons and the tests go on and on. It took me 3 tests to pass and so many lessons, and it wasn't cheap. So I didn't learn how to drive until my mid-20s, and I really struggled. Now, I would like to say I'm a fair driver. I try to be as safe as possible. I'm I'd say I'm happy. I could be better, but couldn't anyone? Another fact about me is I find it incredibly hard to recognise faces and remember names, especially if that person has had a haircut or in a place that I don't normally see them, so kind of out of context. Even with family members, it really is a real problem. I've walked past cousins without even clocking who it is, or friends, but then I'll remember other people who I haven't seen for years. It's very strange. It's a genuine face blindness. It's very odd, and it can make some social situations quite difficult and quite awkward, especially if they're like, "Oh, don't say hello then. Oh, sorry, I didn't recognise you. You have a different shade of lipstick today. I'm sorry." Yeah, I've had that problem forever and ever and ever. Okay, so on the same wavelength, I'm currently waiting for an ADHD diagnostic test, and the wait is 2.5 years on the NHS, so I'm currently waiting for that. I've always had problems with concentration, believe it or not, as you watch me paint. If it's not something that I can absolutely bury myself in, I find it really hard to concentrate and to stay focused. And I forget things all the time, like on serious things like doctor's appointments and things like that. My brain is a sieve. I forget everything. I have to write every single little thing down, otherwise it is forgotten. It is in the ether. It's in the God's hands. Another fact of me is I'm terrified of flying. I really don't like flying. It's funny because when I was younger, I was okay with flying, and then I got older and then I got really scared of it. I cannot describe to you why, no idea. I think it was stories from the news and it just sort of stuck with me. So I was absolutely terrified. But the last time I was on a plane, I was actually really good. I was really impressed with myself, so I really hope that I'm getting over that one. I also wazzed myself up by watching flight videos and things like that. That didn't involve a crash or didn't involve disappearing off the map. So that helped. Okay, and another fact is I love all art and find having to specialise quite restricting at times. So I would be drawing, painting every subject in the entire world given half the chance. I would be constantly creating something new. I would be jumping from medium to medium to medium, but obviously if you make your living through it, as I do, I'm full-time, you have to specialise. And this is a style that I specialise in. This and digital illustration. And as much as I love it and I adore it, I am so lucky, I do find it quite restricting at times. And when I do create art for myself in another medium and it's purely for myself, I can feel quite guilty that I'm essentially almost using up my creative time that I could be using furthering my portfolio in my chosen field. But I do love it, don't get me wrong. I am actually in the process of illustrating my first book, and we're in talks about book number 2. So I'm so excited. That is with a brand new publishing house, and yeah, we are absolutely thrilled. It is wonderful, honestly, absolutely amazing. I'm living my best life. I'm also a member of the AOI, which is the Association of Illustrators. They are an amazing institution. They are an amazing resource. I would be lost without them. Honestly, if you are a creative and you're in the UK, I'm not sure about other countries, but if you are in the UK and you're an illustrator, honestly, please check them out. another fact about myself is my favourite, I do like sport as well. I like moving my body, and my favourite is boxing. I have attended classes on and off over the years, and I just love it. I always say it's cheaper than therapy, going and beating up a bag for an hour a week. I love boxing. I just haven't had the time to attend classes recently for many reasons. My favourite video game is Stardew Valley, so I actually really like video games. I wish I had more time to play them, but the reason why I love just Stardew Valley is that I can just pick it up, put it down. I often play it before I go to bed at night because it's so relaxing, it's so chill, and that's why I like it. And I like any games that have a lot of managerial things. I guess I'm just a born manager, I suppose. And for my final fact, oh my goodness, I've reached the end of my list. My ideal Pokemon team, talking about video games, would be Cubone, Bulbasaur, Dragonair, Mareep, Phantump, and Clefairy. Like, how girly is that team? It just needs it. I wish I had room for an Audino in there as well. Yeah, I have spent a lot of time just thinking about what kind of Pokemon I would have in my team, or if I had a little friend with me all the time, what one would it be? I have spent far too much time as an adult thinking about that. And we're almost at the end now. I'm just really grateful that you followed me and listened to me ramble on for, oh wow, nearly 17 minutes now. So thank you so much for sticking with me and watching me paint. I'm not the happiest with some of the painting on here, but other bits I am happy with, and I think it's a good addition to my YouTube playlists. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed painting it. If you enjoyed this as well, I would love it if you left a like and a comment so that I can see that you've watched these. That really does help me, and it keeps me motivated for the next video. I hope to see you again soon, and thank you very much. Ta-ra!